What's good, Whites faithful? Your boy's back with some absolutely mental news from Elland Road that's got every Leeds fan talking. I'm telling you right now, grab your scarf, sit down, and buckle up because what I'm about to tell you will have you jumping out of your seat. We've got 3 absolutely explosive stories that happened in one single match. That's changed everything we thought we knew about this season. I'm talking about a player who went from villain to hero in 90 minutes, a signing that's proving everyone wrong, and an injury scare that could derail our entire campaign. Before we dive into this madness, smash that like button if you bleed white. Hit subscribe if Elland Road is your second home. And drop a comment telling me your thoughts. Because this community is what makes Leeds United special. But here's what's driving me absolutely crazy. How can one match against Bournemouth contain so much drama, so much emotion, and so much proof that this Leeds team is something completely different? The first story involves an American who cost us £25 million and has been getting more stick than any player in recent memory, until Saturday happened. Right, White's faithful, let me tell you about Brenden Aaronson and what happened at Elland Road that had every single Leeds fan on their feet. This is the same lad who's been getting absolutely hammered by our support, and honestly, some of it was deserved. Think about it, we paid £25 million for this American. $25 million. That's serious money for Leeds United. And what did we get? A player who looked lost, who went on loan when we needed him most, and who seemed to shrink every time he put on our shirt. The lad's been playing like he was scared of his own shadow. Jesse Marsch and Victor Orta backed him with that massive fee back in 2022. But Aaronson never showed us why. His slight figure getting bullied off the ball. His negative approach that frustrated everyone in the stands. It was getting painful to watch. 8 players went out on loan using Victor Orta's system, and only to came back to Farke's squad. That tells you everything about the mentality we were dealing with. But Saturday was different, White's faithful. When Daniel Farke put him in the starting 11 against Bournemouth, half of us were scratching our heads thinking, what's the gaffer doing? Farke had said he needed a hard-working player to complement Noah Okafor's lack of work rate. But we all thought there were better options. Aaronson didn't just play, he performed. 5 shots, defensive contributions all over the pitch, winning duels left and right. This wasn't the timid American we've been watching. This was a player fighting for his Leeds United future. His stats were incredible. 6.9 FOTMOB rating, 43 touches, 5 touches in Bournemouth's box, to tackles, to interceptions. The lad was everywhere. And when Altanaka came on to replace him in the 87th minute, something magical happened. The entire Elland Road stood up and gave him a standing ovation. Can you believe that? The same fans who've been on his back for months were on their feet applauding. That's the power of giving everything for this shirt. And Aaronson finally showed he gets what it means to play for Leeds United. With his World Cup coming up next summer on home soil, this performance couldn't have come at a better time for the American. But hold on to your hats, because that standing ovation was nothing compared to the scenes when our next hero stepped up. Now this is where things get absolutely beautiful, White's faithful. While everyone was focused on Aaronson's redemption, Sean Longstaff was putting on an absolute clinic that had former players and fans losing their minds. Remember when we signed this Geordie lad from Newcastle for £15 million, and half the fan base was like, who's this? Well, let me tell you something. Sean Longstaff just proved he might be the signing of the entire window. Michael Bridges was on commentary absolutely raving about him. And when a former striker is that excited about a midfielder, you know something special is happening. The man was everywhere, creating Joe Rodon's equalizer with a perfect corner delivery. And yes, you heard that right. Joe Rodon scored a goal. But then Longstaff decided to show off and scored an absolute screamer that had Elland Road bouncing. Like it was 1992. A gorgeous strike that was the highlight of what was already a frenetic and 2-in battle. The fans on social media went mental. What a player Sean Longstaff is, man. He's everywhere. One supporter said he's already putting in a claim for next year's Ballon d'Or. Another called it a masterclass and said he was outstanding. That's the kind of performance that gets you legend status at this club. Graham Smythe called it perfectly when he said people were sleeping on Longstaff. And boy was he right. This lad's got that Premier League experience, that winning mentality, and most importantly, he's got that Yorkshire grit that our fans respect. Smythe even compared him to Joe Rothwell, the player who surpassed all expectations. Cross was calling Longstaff another level during the match, and you could see why. His ability to read the game, his positioning, his work rate, everything about his performance screamed quality. Even before that stunning goal, fans were singing his praises, calling him a class act. This is what £15 million gets you when you spend it, right? But just when we thought everything was perfect, just when we thought this was our day, disaster struck in the most heartbreaking way. Right, this is where my heart sank. White's faithful, and I know yours will too. Just when we thought we had everything figured out, just when Aronson was proving himself and Longstaff was running the show, we get hit with the news that could change our entire season. Noah Okafor, the Swiss winger who Daniel Farke has been pushing to work harder, was spotted limping off the Elland Road pitch. Cross reported it during the match, and the images of Okafor grimacing as he exchanged applause with the away fans will haunt every Leeds supporter. This is absolutely massive. White's faithful. The timing couldn't be worse. Okafor had been criticized by Farke during the week after John Newsom said Leeds couldn't afford passengers following his ball-losing performance against Wolves. The Swiss international had worked his socks off against Bournemouth, proving he was listening to the criticism and responding like a true professional. But at 67 minutes, when Jack Harrison came on to replace him, Okafor was clearly in pain. Cross reported he was slightly limping and grimacing as he left the pitch. For a player who was finally showing the work rate Farke demanded, this injury couldn't have come at a worse time. We're already dealing with Dan James and Willy Gnonto not being fully fit, and now our other attacking option is potentially injured? Do you realize what this means for our squad depth? We're talking about facing Tottenham next weekend before the international break, and we might be down to bare bones in attack. Daniel Farke only used 3 of his 5 available substitutes, Harrison, Altanaka, and Lucas Mecha, which shows how limited our options already were. If Okafor is out for any significant time, we're looking at a potential crisis in the attacking third, just when the fixtures are getting tougher. And here's the kicker, we drew to 2-2 after leading. Bournemouth scored in the 93rd minute to steal 2 points from us. 8 points from 6 games isn't terrible when you consider we've faced Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, and other top sides, but we should have had 11 points. Those dropped points against teams we should be beating are going to hurt come May. The bottom line for every White's faithful, listen, this match against Bournemouth told us everything about where we stand as a club right now. We've got players like Aronson finally finding their feet and showing the quality that justified that £25 million fee. Gems like Longstaff proving their worth and looking like bargains at £15 million. But we're also walking a tightrope with injuries that could derail everything Farke is building. We're sitting 11th in the Premier League, level on points with Brighton, but the potential is clearly there. The fight, the spirit, the quality, it's all coming together. But football is cruel, and just when things start clicking, injuries threaten to unravel all our progress. The question that's keeping me awake at night is this: are we strong enough to handle these injury setbacks? Or will this be another season of what if for Leeds United? Can Aronson maintain this newfound form and finally justify his price tag? Is Longstaff the missing piece we've been searching for since our Premier League return? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Can this squad handle the pressure when key players get injured? Are we finally seeing the real Brendan Aronson? And how crucial will Sean Longstaff be to our survival hopes this season? Smash that subscribe button and ring the bell, because this season is going to be one hell of a ride. And we're taking it together, White's faithful. Through the highs, the lows, the injuries, and the magic moments, we're Leeds United. And we never give up. Mott.